It's the Shatkin First Down Pregame Show, presented by Dr. Todd Shatkin and the Aesthetic Associates Center, with your hosts, Rich Gaenzler and Dr. Jared Shatkin, and our special guests, Bills Fans of the Year, the Chefs. Now, from the Shatkin Sports Network studios in Amherst, here are your hosts, Rich Gaenzler and Dr. Jared Shatkin.
Welcome to the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. Rich Gaenzler, Dr. Jared Shatkin, very special guest, the Bills Fans of the Year, the Chefs, going to be joining us live in studio in our second segment. The Mafia will be here. We're going to talk both games, obviously, the Ravens coming up, and of course the Broncos behind us. That's where we're going to start here as we continue. Thank God now for the wild card into the divisional round. The season has extended, right? Deep breath now. And I think we were all, concerned about the Bronco game. They were coming in pretty hot, right? Mm-hmm. And boy, did the Bills take care of business despite, again, a slow start. We even talked last week a little bit about, slow starts and, well, it's the playoffs. Can the Bills slow start in the playoffs? They did, and it still didn't matter, right? I mean, so here they give up the big pass play, and then they just dominated on both sides of the football.
Right, it made me feel a little bit stupid for thinking that this game would be close and thinking that the Broncos really had a chance. But, yeah, that first play got us all a little bit worried, but all it was a quick wake-up call, a quick jolt of energy into the Bills. And right after that, they really showed up and dominated the rest of that game.
One of the things I was really impressed with was time of possession. I mean, they were just very deliberate about their drives. They didn't care about the big play, even though they got a bunch of them in the game. They were very, very deliberate about the way they were running their offense and just chunking up time.
Well, and there was no panic. Right. When they're down 7-0, and that first drive, they ran it the exact way they wanted to run it. They ran the ball. They were getting chunks 5 yards every time. And, even when they go down 7-3, there's still no panic in that team. And, that shows a level of confidence in the game plan in Joe Brady, the confidence that Josh Allen has, and the confidence that whole team has, really. That old line was ready to play, and, James Cook was chefing it up, and, an incredible game from them.
I think what made everybody maybe most happy offensively was Curtis Samuel finally getting off the schneid.
Well, good for Curtis Samuel for not putting his head down and thinking he's in the doghouse. Instead, he stays with it. He works hard. He gets a 55-yard touchdown this week. The week before, he was the leading receiver. All these people are trusting the process, and that's really important, is the everybody-is mentality. Curtis Samuel came into the season thinking, I might be a number 1 or 2 receiver here, and he goes a little bit down in the depth chart, but he doesn't pout. He gets right back at it. He makes a huge play in the playoffs when we need him.
Defensively, Milano, great. Rousseau, great edge plays, sack. I know you like Von Miller's play.
Yeah, I like Von Miller's aggressiveness. He's finally showing a little bit of that old Von Miller, that spin move he had on McGlinchey, and he got pressure on the quarterback. And Rousseau had he was a beast all game. But just a guy like Von Miller, who to me has maybe not showed up the entire season, I think he's peaking at the right time.
Cook was terrific. I mean, he is such a squirrely running back. Almost every run he makes from the play call and the snap, it goes one way, and then there's a bounce back. And boy, he's just been able to do that and get 5-6 yards of carry almost every time in sort of a part-time role. If you look at his number of carries compared to other, air quote, starting backs.
Well, and his physicality is much better this season than he's been. That run for a touchdown in the beginning, he ran over Barton, the linebacker, for about 3 yards into the end zone. So he truly is an elite running back in this league, and he's making me rethink my idea that you shouldn't pay a running back, because right now he is a crucial player on this Bills offense.
Yeah, I love Khalil Shakir, too. Obviously, we know everything he does in terms of yards after catch, but also had a terrific punt return in that game as well. So a really great all-around game for the Bills. A couple of hiccups, but nothing that they couldn't recover from. We're going to talk more about the Bills, more importantly about the Ravens in our final segment. But next up, the Bills Fans of the Year, the Chefs, in studio with us right here on the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show.
RV shoppers, Myers RV invites you to shop over 100 brands of travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and motorhomes from all the leading manufacturers. Myers RV is the largest family-owned RV dealer in the Northeast with over 2,000 new and used RVs in stock. Right now, all remaining 2024 models are being offered at drastically reduced prices. Myers RV has 3 convenient locations in Rochester to serve you. Just a quick trip east on the 90 to save you thousands. Online at MyersRVs.com. Go Bills!
Hi, I'm Dr. Todd Shatkin here with Hall of Fame running back Thurman Thomas.
My family and I have been coming to Dr. Shatkin's dental office for years. The office is beautiful and the staff is outstanding.
Thanks, Thurman. It's been an honor for me to take care of you and your family.
For a Hall of Fame smile, go where the pros go. Dr. Todd Shatkin at the Aesthetic Associates Center.
Call today for a free consultation, 839-1700.
All right, welcome back to the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. We are stoked to have the guys that stoke the fires in the tailgate parking lots at what's been over the years, Highmark, New Era, the Ralph, Rich, all of that. Yes, the 2024 Bills Fans of the Year, the chefs are in the building. This is pretty awesome. Chef Norm, Chef Pooh. Now, this is interesting. You guys aren't technically chefs. I know people probably come up to you and say, hey, what restaurant you guys work at? Where can I find the menus, right? You guys aren't technically chefs, correct?
Correct.
All right, so tell us how this whole chefs thing kind of evolved, the history of it.
Well, it started, we're just like regular Bills fans. We tailgating in the parking lot. So, 20 years ago, we had a few tailgates. And to me, it just seemed like it was boring. I was like, man, I just need to do something to spice it up. So I just came up with the idea, I'm going to go grab a couple chef hats and we can wear them at the tailgate, or we knocking around. So the chef hats came in the mail and they were just so plain. They were all white and just plain. And I was like, man, I got to do something with this. So, I kind of looked around a little bit and I found the guy out at Niagara Falls. So I took the hats out there and just asked him, could he airbrush it? So he said, yeah, I could do that. And then we have a little saying that we go between the both of us. I say, who you with? And he says, the Bills. So I went back to pick the hats up. They were very nice. So, we wear them for the tailgate. At the 12th hour of the tailgate to go in the game, I just said, Norm, we're going to wear the hats in. And then Norm was like, man, you crazy. We're not going to wear those hats. People going to be laughing at us and giving us the business. And I was like, come on, man. It'll be fun just to wear the thing in there. And that's how it was born, and it just took off from day one.
And you guys have been I want to go back to the tailgate, but you guys have been basically in the same seats pretty much the whole time, right? In that corner near Elvis, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yep, all the 23 years, 24 years?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm sure you've had a handful of Bills probably jump up into your arms in celebration there.
Yeah, we got one in particular that stands out that made Come On Man.
Okay.
Remember the show?
Yeah.
So it was Lee Smith. He caught the touchdown. And Pooh was like, man, he looked like he's coming towards us.
He waving him over.
He waving him like this, and I'm like, he's really going to come over here. so we looking, and the closer he got, the bigger he got. Next thing you know, he takes the leap. And Pooh at that time just had some little minor surgery on his back, and all Pooh could do was just move out of the way. So I said, I'm not catching him. And I moved out the way, and there he went, right into the stand. Over the wall. And I'm over here patting him down and slapping him on the helmet, and he sees the football just laying in his lap. He just snatches the football. I'm still over there, yeah. And all of a sudden, we pick him up and put him back out there. And Pooh's like, look, I got the football. I couldn't believe it.
That's amazing.
And that was like one of our first footballs we ever got. And he took it from Lee Smith.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome stuff. But you guys were not only made famous by everybody seeing you in the stands, you're right there in terms of Bills, the big fandom is right there in that corner. But you've been known for your tailgate for years because of your space right there on Abbott. That spot was so popular, and people were not only attracted by your hats and who you guys were and your big personalities, but also your food. Talk a little bit about the chefdom on the grill that you guys were doing. I know you started off kind of, your word, boring, some sausages, and then it kind of evolved, right, over the years?
It took off. We just started getting more and more people involved and more food involved. So we started doing like ribs and chicken, and we decided to make some sides to go with that stuff, with hamburgers and hot dogs. So Poom started making his famous mac and cheese, and I make my famous baked beans, and a couple more of our guys that tailgate with us made green beans and pasta salads and fish, and we started doing steaks, and so it just came to be a one big backyard cookout.
I'm not liking you right now because I'm starving, and I just want some of that. That sounds so good.
And after the games, we would come back. Everybody would come back, and we either had like 50, 60 steak sandwich we made prior, or put about 50, 60 New York strip
Strips
steaks on the grill. And we do this all after the game, waiting for traffic to die down. Just standing out there, just having a great time.
So you guys have had to endure, obviously, a lot of tough seasons, right? I mean, obviously, the
absolutely.
entire drought,
Yes.
and now here we are. So this has got to be a really special time for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it feels great. It's been a long time coming, you know. But I mean, we made it through, you know. Like you said, we were there for the whole drought. And I mean, everything, and just sitting there in the cold, the rain. So now it's like they're paying the piper.
So NFTA, firefighter.
Yes.
Thank you guys both for your service, obviously.
Thank you.
And now retired. So basically what you do every day of the week and every waning minute is get ready for the tailgate every week, right?
Absolutely.
It's become your job.
Yeah, that starts on Monday. You know, just looking to see what we want to do, what we want to. Then we just do our shopping throughout the week and do our preparations on Friday, and Saturday we kind of rest up and get ready. Normally we'd be out there on Saturday, but like I said, they took our spot, so it's kind of, you know. I don't like it, but what do. And, you know, thank God that we got a spot.
Right.
Yeah.
But so we just kind of come out early on Sunday and just start partying and tailgate.
There it is. And we've had a lot to party and tailgate about. And you guys are now fans of the year for 2024. Pretty awesome. How'd you find out?
Well, the Bills got us out to the stadium. They wanted us to talk about some of your previous encounters with Jim Kelly. And they put you in like a trailer and you talk about it. So me and Norm, we go in, we sit down. I mean, we couldn't have sat down but 2 minutes. There's a knock at the door. And we turn and look, the door opens, it's Jim Kelly.
What?
Yeah.
Jim Kelly sticks his head in there and says, "Hey guys, how you doing?" We're like, "Oh my God, Jim, what's up?"
Jimbo, what's up, man?
He's like, "Come on outside, I got something for you guys."
Yeah.
And we get up, we go outside, and he says, "Guys, I want to congratulate you on being the fan of the year. You're going to the Super Bowl." And we're just standing in the parking lot like unbelievable. It was crazy.
Pretty awesome. But there's your fan of the year jersey. Obviously, you both have them. You got your fan of the year jacket.
Yeah.
And now you're up for NFL fan of the year.
NFL
so we
fan.
want everybody that's watching this, obviously you, everybody in your family, everybody you know, everybody they know, to vote for these guys. And how can they do it? What's the website? I know there's a website they can go on.
Well, you can go on Facebook and go on Derek Norman, my page.
Okay.
And I got it up there 50 times. Just follow the link, hit it, vote many times as you want.
Get your votes in. And I can't let you go without asking you two questions. First of all, you guys ever been in New Orleans?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you know what's in store.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of a party and a tailgate there.
A lot of good eating, a lot of oyster eating.
for sure, for sure.
Hopefully he can stay on his feet this time.
Yeah. We had a ball the first time.
So that's fantastic, number one. Then number two, I got to get your predictions for the game, Bills, Ravens. Pooh, what do you think?
I'm going to take the Bills 35-33.
Okay.
I'm thinking
Jeff,
35-27 Buffalo.
Okay. All right. Quick break. The Mafia, speaking of, joins us next. We'll talk Bills, Ravens a little bit later in the show. This is the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show.
Hello, I'm Dr. Sam Shatkin Jr., board-certified plastic surgeon. In addition to my many other aesthetic treatments, I'm now offering the revolutionary 4D facelift exclusively for you. Look your best in the new year. Make the resolution right now to give us a call at the Aesthetic Associate Center. Come in for a free consultation. Just mention Buffalo Healthy Living Magazine, 716-800-6026, and find out more at drshatkin.com.
My self-esteem wasn't where it should have been because I was really, really self-conscious about my teeth. When I walked into Shatkin Dental, I was instantly ready for the residency program. I knew that that is what I needed. I needed the discount. I needed the dentist that was gonna fix everything. My self-esteem is already getting much, much, much higher just from starting the procedures.
Call Shatkin Dental Health today at 43 Smile for quality dental care you can afford.
Are you hungry? Eat. Stabilize your loose dentures with Shatkin Mini Dental Implants.
Welcome back to the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. Rich, Jared, Coach Bob, Jack. You've met these guys before. Obviously, we're on every single week. Got to thank the chefs for coming on. What great guys, and congratulations to them. And, of course, you got to vote for them as not only the Bills fan of the year, but the NFL fan of the year, right? So we got that out there for you. And, of course, we'll string that along the bottom of the screen throughout so you can get those votes in. All right, fellas. Well, let's talk a little bit about the Broncos game first, and then we'll get into the Ravens, then we'll get into your picks for the rest of the playoffs based on our grid. All right. So, Coach Bob, what were you most impressed with in the Bills over Denver?
Offensive line.
Yeah.
They came out, they played, they hit. It was a good scheme, and they took it to them. And they were the better team by far. A long touchdown in the beginning kind of set them back a little bit, but they came out, I think, a little more determined. And they came out and they just they played playoff football.
For sure.
They imposed their will, and Allen is Allen.
Yeah, Jared?
I think running for over 100 yards like we did, and James Cook, the way he played against a defense that hadn't let up too many 100-yard rushes the whole year, so it's kind of doubling off of his point. The O-line really showed up, stepped up, and kind of manhandled that defensive line for the Broncos. And just overall, the whole team seemed to have some sort of calculated approach that ended up working every play except for the third or fourth play of the game.
Yeah, Jack.
I thought the defense really came and showed up, and I thought that was a big deal heading into what could be a huge weekend coming up.
Yeah, I was going to say the Broncos didn't help themselves with a bunch of drops in that game. There was the fake punt against. There was maybe aside from the long touchdown play, those were the two big plays that Denver really had. But to your point, the defense stepped up after the fake punt. I mean, Bernard makes a great play on a screen for a loss, and then here's Von Miller with a pressure that forces an incompletion and then a punt. So, yeah, I thought it was an all-around great game. I mean, even special teams with that play that Mac Hollins made, right, on Mims there was fantastic. How about, individually? I mean, there were guys that showed up. One guy we talk about a lot is Ty Johnson, but how about some of the other tertiary guys, Coach Bob, that showed up that you were impressed by?
Samuel, great move. I heard some discussion. They thought he was going to go out of bounds. He turned it up and went in for a touchdown, broke a tackle. And I don't think Denver was, at that point, I don't think they wanted to play anymore.
Jack, what do you think?
I'm going to stick with the defense. I thought Milano looked a lot better than he has in the last couple of weeks, and I think his first steps back, his confidence back, I think that's a big deal.
Yeah, for sure. And what about you?
I think Von Miller had a phenomenal game. He had pass rushes. He was very disruptive the whole game in the run game and in the pass game. And I think he's kind of been ramping up the last couple of weeks. And I'm excited to see what he has in Baltimore, because if he plays anything like that, I think we have a good chance of sending the edge on them.
Yeah, and let's get right to Baltimore. It's a good segue. Jack, what do you think keys to the game for a Bills victory? What do we got to do? Obviously, they're the, air quotes, two-headed monster with Lamar and Henry. What do you think? Who do you key on number one? And let the other guy play and make mistakes? What do you think?
I wouldn't say there's a key on either, because they're such a monster in the backfield with Jackson, Derrick Henry. I think it's more of a point of focus on keep them at the line, keep them to 3 points, and capitalize on offense when you do.
It's incredible how similar these two teams are, right? I mean, Josh and Lamar are playing their best football ever. And then the defenses, again, have some stars kind of sprinkled here and there, but they play as units. I mean, these are two well-coached teams.
Yeah, I think the last time, that 34-10 game, when we started to see success defensively is when we were aggressive in our blitzes, and when we kind of took the game to them instead of letting them give it to us. So I think that's something we have to watch out for. These two teams are extremely similar. We're not really going to stop the Ravens, I don't think. I think you're going to have a little bit of a back-and-forth game no matter how you look at it. These guys are really high in firepower on offense, but almost the best defense is going to be a nice, sustained drive for the Bills. The Bills' offense is going to be very important in terms of keeping the ball and keeping the time of possession in our favor, and it's going to be a great game.
Last thing I want to say about the Denver game is what Rasul Douglas said after the game, and that was they gave up the big play, and then what did he say in the locker room afterward? He goes, we just said, guys, there's 58 minutes left in this game. You know what we can do, you know what we're capable of, and they sure did. They outscored the Broncos 31-0 after that initial score. Pretty impressive stuff. So, all right, let's get to your confidence levels, and we'll get to your picks to the games first. What's your confidence level in this game?
It's going to be a tight game. We went into a Kansas City regular season game, a little worried, beat them. Went into Detroit, a little worried, good team, beat them. Baltimore's going to come in here, we're going to beat them.
Okay, what do you got for a score?
31-30 Bills.
Oh, that's epic. Epic.
I'll have a heart attack.
Must see TV for sure. Yeah. All right, Jack, what do you think?
I like the way the Bills are looking. I like the way they're playing. I'm going to take a Bills victory in a nice high-scoring game, and I'll say 42-40.
Oh, it could be a lot of fun for the offensive viewers out there, and the two of us will give our prediction in a second. But before we get out of this Mafia segment, we got to have you guys pick the rest of the games here, right? We have the beautiful bracket that our crack staff here at the Shatkin Sports Network has put together for you. And Bob, we're going to go each guy at a time to pick the games individually. So Bob, first off, let's go to the NFC. Who do you like? Commanders, Detroit.
Jaden Daniels is good, but Detroit's going to win.
Jack.
Detroit.
Detroit.
I'll go Detroit as well. Rams, Eagles. Bob, the Rams keep up their magic.
Upset special.
Yeah?
I'm taking the Rams.
You took them last week.
Yeah.
Jared?
Eagles.
Jack?
I'm going to go Philly.
I'm going to go Rams too. I feel like they're playing for something, that they had that little extra with the fires and all of that happening in LA. I like the Rams in that one again to advance. All right, AFC. Chiefs, Texans. Bob?
Chiefs. They're just Andy Reid.
Yeah, Jared?
I want it to be the Chiefs. I want to go to Kansas City and beat the Chiefs.
Okay, and Jack?
I got the Chiefs winning.
Yeah, I think the Texans have too much going on in and around their locker room, especially with the injury bug. I think the Chiefs as well. So after the Bills win, they go back there to KC for the championship game. All right, guys, great job. Thanks so much for coming aboard. And we come back next, Jared and I talking about the divisional matchup, 6:30 on Sunday between the Bills and the Ravens. Back after this in the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show.
I am so happy with my experience that I had at iSmile Spas today. Got my teeth professionally whitened. I have months of results in less than an hour. No pain, seriously not even a sting. They're not sensitive. You leave with a kit to continue your whitening. Absolutely incredible. I'm so happy I ever did this. I can't stop smiling.
Western New York. Smile again with confidence. Call 43-SMILE today.
It means a lot to be able to work with my dad to continue this legacy that we have going on.
I had many implants. Once I got them, it was like the old me came back.
The changes you can make in such a short period of time in somebody's life, have somebody in the chair crying because they finally have a full set of teeth. And I think the only way to do it in that type of time period for that type of price is really the mini implant.
Mini dental implants can change your life too. Call us at 839-1700 for a free consultation.
All right, welcome back to the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. Time to talk about the divisional matchup, the Bills and the Ravens. Behind us, Rich and Jared. Man, I mean, what this is for, and I've heard a lot of people this week talk about this game, is this being the Super Bowl, right? Winner of this game is going to win it all. It's basically MVP v. MVP. All right, let's get into this game. Obviously, a lot of people are talking about the earlier game this year, 35-10, but so many things happened in that game. And so many things were in place that aren't in this game. So let's first of all talk about Derrick Henry, who went absolutely berserk. But a lot of that absolutely berserk came on the opening drive of the game with the 87-yard touchdown run. I'm not saying don't put it out of the realm of possibility, but the likelihood of that happening again is pretty low.
Yeah, especially since we got a couple of our star linebackers back that were not playing in that game, and Bernard and Milano. You know, and I think Derrick Henry is playing fantastic football, and it's going to be hard to stop him. But there was a time when the Bills had stopped Derrick Henry. It's 2022 when they played the Titans. We won 41-7. Derrick Henry had 25 yards and 1.9 yards of rush. So my thing is, if you stop Derrick Henry before he gets going, I think you can kind of slow him down.
Well, do you think there ever come a time, because this has also come up a little bit with Derrick Henry, that the Bills could, depending on how things go to a 4-3 and throw Dorian Williams into the mix, kind of change it up? That is completely against everything the Bills have done really for the last couple of years with Taron Johnson, because then he ideally would be forced out of the game. What do you think about that potential?
I think if it gets to a point where they're really gashing us on the run, it's definitely something to think about. Because with Lamar and Derrick Henry, that run game is kind of what you're most afraid of. Lamar's had a good season passing the ball, no doubt, but in the recent games when they've been dominating, their run game has been the reason. I like to keep Taron Johnson on the field. He's one of the best players on the team, but if that happens, I definitely would think about it.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought. Obviously, Shakir wasn't in that game. I mean, he was briefly in the game. No Amari Cooper in that first game. Now, granted, Mark Andrews didn't do much in that game either. I think he was kind of dinged up in that game, so he didn't do much for them, and he's back in full tilt for them. But maybe the biggest story of this game, aside from the quarterbacks, is Zay Flowers, who probably won't play in this game.
Yeah, him being out would be a huge story because that really takes their only playmaker on wide receiver out. I mean, Bateman's a decent player, but he's not Pro Bowl level like Zay Flowers. So, but those two tight ends are really starting to come along, and also their defense is playing much better than they were when they saw the Bills in the 35-10 game.
Yeah, for sure. So just some quick stats. The Ravens, this is nuts. They average 187 yards per game on the ground. That's crazy. 21 rush touchdowns. They've rushed for over 3,000 yards as a team. That's nuts. The Bills have rushed for over 2,000, which is impressive as a team. They're over 3,000 yards rushing. They have 11 different, you talk about eating, right, for the Bills? The Ravens have 11 different players who have caught touchdowns this year. Pretty remarkable stat there. 100 catches from, you mentioned the tight ends, combined from Andrews and Likely. 28 more points 13 times for the Ravens. The Bills have 30 or more points 13 times. I mean, these teams are so almost identical offensively. It's so hard to pick one way or the other. How much does, let's face it, weather and home field play in this game for the Bills?
Well, the hope is that the weather is going to be cold, but it's not going to be unplayable. I think it's not supposed to be snow showers right now. And I think home field plays a huge role because I think last game, the audibles that the Ravens were able to make before their play was able to open up holes, and Lamar was able to play a game where he could hear everything and articulate clearly, and the fans are going to have to play a huge role in this game.
Keys to the game, obviously, what do the Bills have to do to win? I mean, I would suspect, we talked a little bit about it earlier in the show about long drives. I mean, I want Josh Allen to have the football a lot, right? And keep Lamar and Derrick Henry off the field.
No, absolutely. You got to have long drives. We have to win the possession battle, and we have to win the turnover battle. And one other thing is we have to play aggressive on defense because, like I said earlier, when we started to really get under the Ravens' skin last game and we started to kind of claw back into the game is when we started to blitz the linebackers a bit.
I think the Bills, too, with those long drives, got to score touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Got to score touchdowns. Bottom line, end of story. It's going to be a terrific game. I mean, an absolutely terrific game. To your point, the Ravens' defense has improved dramatically as the season has progressed. The Bills now are at full tilt in terms of health, which is remarkable. Most teams aren't at this time of the year. Most teams are missing somebody. The Bills are missing nobody. Codrington's expected to be back in the punt return game. Ray Davis probably going to miss, so there might be a call-up in terms of the running back position. Other than that, entirely healthy top to bottom for the Bills. So what do you think for the score for this game?
I think it's going to be a really close game. And, the sad part about this is the fact that the radio stations are going to be all over us for losing in the divisional round again if we lose, and all over the Ravens for losing the divisional round. When these are two really good teams, and it'd be great just to watch a great game. I like the Bills to edge them out 27-21 in a close game.
27-21. I'm going to go 34-24. I think the Bills are offensively on a roll. I think because they've been so diverse offensively, I don't think the Ravens are going to have an answer for them as much as the Bills will for their offense in that game. So we both like the Bills. Our panel, the Mafia, like the Bills as well. Hopefully you do too. Thanks to Aesthetic Associates, Shatkin Dental, Dr. Todd Shatkin, Myers RV, and Sorrentino's Pizza for bringing the show. Thanks to the chefs for being on it as well. Congratulations to them. Don't forget to vote for them for NFL Fan of the Year. Thanks to you, Jared, and the rest of the crew, and of course the Mafia. Thanks to you for watching. Let's go Bills, beat the Ravens so we can have another game in advance of the AFC Championship game right here on the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show.
In the Pocket is sponsored by Mini Dumpster Rental. Call 716-429-6362. This has been a production of the Shatkin Sports Network.